Preparing the Ryan 118 kit rankings.
We're ranking, and that means there are neutrals, there's neutrals, so I will change the chanting, so you can stop your moaning, oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and it's that time of the year again. It's time to sit down and review the home shirts of the Scottish Premiership this season. The 25-26 campaign is upon us, which means it's only natural that the Gok 1 specs come on, and we rank the kits from worst to best. There's some absolute crackers, and there's some absolute honkers, and we're going to look at all of them and in between. So bear with me. If you haven't already, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and let's do this, shall we? It's my favourite video of the year. Here's a quick reminder of the Ryan 118 Home Kit Hall of Fame. Our champions from 2017 all the way through to last year, who will join this illustrious list of winners this season. I mean, could it be Dundee looking to make it free on the bounce? I can't believe I'm saying those words, but Dundee looking to make it free on the bounce for best home shirt. They have provided some absolute worldies these last few years, and they're looking to do it again. So we've got a lot to go through, a lot of beautiful kits. And you all call me biased on this channel. You know, the non-Celtic fans like to come and say I'm biased. Celtic have only won best home shirt once. Once! And this is the 9th time we've done it. And one quick message before we get started here. Very quickly, once and for all, this year only, I'm going to say it. And I'm taking the bite here. I know I'm taking the bite. If you've been looking for Ryan 118 to take the bite on this, then guess what? You're lucky. Your day has come. But I want to say this once and for all, right? Home shirts are home shirts, and they're called home shirts for a reason. This is the shirt that teams typically wear at home every year, and probably have done from the very day the club was founded. This is directed mostly towards the people who go, oh, green and white hoops, who'd have guessed? What a surprise! Green and white hoops for Celtic. Yes, because that is the home colour of Celtic. That is the home shirt of Celtic. And there's only so much you can do with green and white hoops. Just like there's only so much you can do with every other home shirt across the country. Rangers, for example, blue t-shirt. Let's just scroll back to, say, I don't know, 2013. Blue t-shirt. Let's just scroll back down to, say, maybe, I don't know, 2003. Blue t-shirt. Christ, let's even go to the 1970s. Oh, a blue polo shirt. Oh my god. Or let's just look at Aberdeen. A red polo shirt this year. How lovely. Let's go back to 2018. Oh, a red t-shirt. Who would have guessed? Let's go back to 2004. Ah yes, a red t-shirt. One more time, just for the record. Hearts, a nice burgundy t-shirt. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous, eh? Let's go back to 2012. Oh yes, of course, a burgundy t-shirt. I could have been fooled, honestly. Oh, in 2004, a burgundy t-shirt. I've taken the bite, but I'm ending it once and for all. A home shirt is a home shirt for a reason. A team is going to wear the same colour every year. They're going to have a very similar shirt every year. There's only so much you can do. It's not a Celtic problem. It's not a green and white hoop problem. It's a home shirt. So wind your neck in and just enjoy it. On that note, shall we begin? In last place, what would a list be without a non-entry? Every year, there's always one, and they're back in the top flight just to terrorise me once more. David Martindale's Livingston, they're here, and they have no new shirt. Yep, we're still waiting. Of course, I could have put my money on this. It was always going to be Livy. This isn't the first time, and it won't be the last. I think what's most annoying is for months now, or weeks I should say, Livingston have been teasing retro shirts through their social media channels. Like they've got players posing in retro shirts constantly, clearly building to some sort of kit reveal. But this has been going on for weeks. It's the 1st of July, Livingston. Your League Cup campaign kicks off like next week and we don't have a new home shirt. I'm not waiting any longer. You fucked it. Simple as that. You fucked it. Even last year, when they were in the Championship, they announced their kit on the 28th of June. Yet here we are, Premiership promoted side, 1st of July, no new kit. Livingston, congratulations, you're back, and you're back with a bang. So on to the revealed kits, which is 11 out of the 12 Premiership sides, and we start with the kit that probably should still be 12. Even an unannounced Livingston shirt should come above this, because I mean it when I say it, this is one of the worst shirts that I've ever had to put in these videos in my whole time doing YouTube. Aberdeen's home shirt for the 25-26 campaign, and it is absolutely honking. The only thing that I can think of when I see this is a polo shirt that Donald Trump would wear on his Aberdeenshire golf course. This is a shocker. By all accounts, an absolute shocker. It doesn't look like a football shirt. It looks straight out of a Marks and Spencer's catalogue. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible, and that's all that can be said for it. Aberdeen, you've had an absolute nightmare here, and Adidas, listen, I know the pain. Adidas have provided Celtic with some stinkers, but this takes the biscuit. Number 10, and it's the newly promoted Falkirk, their first ever entry in the Ryan 118 kit rankings. They're back in the top flight for the first time in over a decade, and it's this, which could have been nice, but all I can think of is Roger Rabbit. The sponsor. We have to have a serious conversation about the sponsor. A big bloody carrot. Lovely. Just fantastic, I suppose. Look, listen, I've got no quarrels with clubs doing what they need to do to get their money. They're hardly going to knock back a big silly carrot if it means money in the club's bank balance. But it does look ridiculous. So, aye, and aside from that, the shirt itself isn't exactly the greatest. I'm a massive fan of centralised badges. You know that if you've been watching these videos year on year. But this shirt just doesn't do it for me. It's lifeless. The sponsor ruins it. And for a return to the top flight, I'd expect something so much better. And this just ain't it. Sorry, Falkirk. Next up, we have Hearts, who have ditched Umbro. This is their first year with Hummel as the new kit manufacturer, and it's not off to the greatest start. I find this very boring. I don't mean to sound harsh, but I just find it very, very boring. Now, I know some people will think, oh, it's clean, it's nice, it's simple, but it's just a little bit too simple for me. And I've never been a huge fan of the Hummel chevrons down the sleeve. I think that takes away from it. If it was all maroon or all burgundy, whatever colour you want to call it, then I think it would be a lot nicer, but the white chevrons just ruin it for me. There is a subtle pattern through the shirt, which I think is quite nice, but I don't know. It lacks life, this shirt. There's just something about it that feels just, pardon the pun, heartless for me. And yeah, poor effort. They've had a lot better. Some of their Umbro entries over the years have been brilliant. In fact, I think they've won best home shirt twice on my channel, but this year, far from it. Number 8, we have Kilmarnock, who have done something very different this year, and when I first seen this, I looked at it with widened eyes, and widened in a more excited way, because it was different, because they were trying something new. They were ditching the usual blue and white vertical stripes, and they were going for something unique, which I really liked and appreciated. But the more I look at it, the more I seem to dislike it, and I think it's mostly down to the sponsor. Listen, if there was a big Brownings the Bakers logo on there, and you know me, you know that I'm a big fan of Brownings the Bakers, if they had that logo on there, I'd have been a fan. I'd have been a huge fan. This could have been a top 5 kit for me, but the sponsor ruins it. It takes away from the shirt. It ruins what's going on. And yeah, it just kind of spoils a really solid effort from Kilmarnock. I'm trying to picture the sponsorless version or a Brownings version and giving them extra points for that, but the whole point is your entry, and this is their entry. I like the different badge. I like everything about it, but the sponsor just ruins it. So it's quite far down on my list now, but keep going for something different, Kilmarnock, because eventually you'll pull it off. Well, you've all been waiting to see where I put them. They're in at number 7. I've gone for the new Rangers home shirt, their first shirt since ditching Castore, even though they've no really ditched Castore. A bit of a weird situation there. I find this shirt just a bit boring. I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it how it is. I just find it a little bit boring. It's not a bad shirt, it's clean, it does the job, but for their first year back with Umbro after a big absence, and an absence of quality in their shirts, I don't know, this was a bit shit. That's how I'm going to word it. And I've always said this about Unibet as a sponsor, it ruins any shirt. I think it's a horrible sponsor. Yeah, it's simple, it's fine, but it lacks any excitement for me. So, number 7. Into the top half then, and in saying that, it's time to play the song. Get it played.
Keep 100% of your claim. G for claims.
Motherwell come in at number 6, and I really like this. This is where I think the shirts start to get on the good side of things for me. It's not as nice as last year's effort, but it's still really smart, very classy. I think that Macron have done a great job with Motherwell in recent years, and that continues with this one. I like the pinstripe. I've always liked the pinstripes in a football shirt. I like the colours. Yeah, it's just really smart. You know, I quite like this one. I think it's bettered by the rest of the shirts we're about to go over, but this is a really solid entry. My favourite part, and this is very niche, right? Very niche, but I love the cuffs on the sleeves. The white, the amber, the claret. I really like that. It's just very, very smart. I like this as a shirt. Number 6. Which brings us to Celtic, who come in at number 5 this year. Listen, green and white hoops. Green and white hoops. There's only so much you can do with green and white hoops. But I like what Adidas have done this year. And in fact, this is probably one of my favourite Adidas home shirts since they've become our kit manufacturers. I'm a big fan of the tartan through the hoops. I'm a big fan of the dark green accents over the sleeves of the shirt. Yeah, it's just a really solid Celtic home shirt. A few extra bells and whistles to spice it up. And they've learned from their mistake of a couple of years ago when they went a bit OTT with the whole stained glass thing. I like this. It's really nice. Tartan is something that always makes a Celtic shirt better, in my opinion. I don't know. I've always liked it. I go back to 2010 and I think about that white Celtic tartan third shirt. It's one of my favourite and I think one of the most underrated Celtic shirts ever. So I like it when they bring tartan into a kit. It keeps the Scottishness of Celtic alive while also, of course, acknowledging the Irish roots. So I'm a big fan of this shirt. Talking about that Celtic disaster a couple of years ago when they took the stripes and they tried to go a bit wild with it. St Mirren have done it this year and I think they've done it really, really well. This comes in at number 4 for me. I really like this. It's something different but also what you'd expect. Black and white stripes with a bit of a twist. I like the way the badge is softly put through the black stripes. The sponsor fits a lot better than what it has in recent years. That's what's always brought the St Mirren shirts down a peg or two for me. This year I think everything is just rounded together nicely. I'm a big fan of this. And take that as a note, Adidas. Take that as a note, any manufacturer who makes strips for teams that have vertical or horizontal stripes. You can be interesting with it. You can be different with it while keeping it clean. And that's what I like about this St Mirren shirt. It's different, it's edgy, but it's clean. Number 4. Which means we're into the top 3. The nitty gritty starts now. And number 3, we have Hibs, who celebrate their 150 years as a football club with this fantastic home shirt by Joma. I love this. I think it's so nice. The shade of green is what steals the show here. This is close to, you know me, Philadelphia Eagles. This is close to like the midnight green of the Eagles. We're sort of getting towards that shade of green. And I love it. It is just absolutely gorgeous. And it's simplicity at its finest. Celebrating an anniversary, but while doing something a bit different. What I love about shirts like this is when the sponsor allows something to be done to make the shirt better. They sacrifice their brand, their logo, to make sure the football kit looks better. And Bevy, which is a fantastic sponsor, by the way, have done that here because the Bevy sponsor, it says 150 years of Hibs throughout the whole thing. Now, most companies would tell football teams to get lost. We're not changing their logo, but they've allowed this to happen. It's made the shirt better. I'm a huge fan of this one. It's gorgeous. I was very close to making this my number 1 or 2, but sadly the next 2 just take the biscuit. So that leaves us with both Dundee clubs for spots 1 and 2. With Dundee looking to make it 3 years on the bounce, can they do it? Well, maybe. In fact, yes, because number 2, we have Dundee United. This kit, I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, I spoke to David Buick about this, Big David from the TSF back in the day, and he said it's nice, but it's not Dundee United. When have they ever wore black and orange stripes? And I get that. It's not necessarily Dundee United, but I love this. I just think it is stunning. It's different. It's fresh, but it's stunning, and it's done so nice. I love vertical stripes in a football shirt. I'm such a fool for it, and I think that the tangerine and the black just complements each other. Very nice. The sponsor looks a lot better than it has in recent years, and Area have provided an absolute topper here for me. So Number 2 for Dundee United this year. They couldn't beat their rivals to top spot, but this is a gorgeous shirt in my opinion, and rightfully sits near the top of the list. Which means, for the 3rd year on the bounce, 3 consecutive seasons, Dundee have won my best home shirt for the Scottish Premiership home shirts. This is stunning. I don't know what Macron are doing. Whoever has been in charge of Dundee shirts at Macron these past 3 seasons deserves a wage rise of the highest order, deserves a job at an Adidas or a Nike. He should be making Celtic shirts, because this is another stunner for Dundee, and they keep knocking it out the park. I don't know how, but it's so nice. Out of the last 3, it could be the nicest as well. The centralised badge is back. The centralised kit maker logo is back. The sponsor suits the shirt. The subtle pattern through the base navy of the shirt. The detailing. Everything about this is perfect. If you put a PSG badge on this, and everybody's been saying this, right? It's not unique to my thinking, but if you slapped a PSG badge on this, this would be selling millions round the world. Dundee have smashed it with this entry. It's marvellous. I love it. You know, honestly, I applaud Dundee. Well done. 3 years. 3 years. We might never see this ever again on this channel. So drink it in. 3 in a row champion Dundee. And that does it for this year. Dundee win best home shirt once again. Livingston don't have an entry. And Aberdeen have dropped the worst kit you'll ever see. It's just another year on the Ryan 118 kit rankings. If you've enjoyed, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know all your opinions in the comments below. And I'll see you for the away shirts sometime in a couple of weeks.